Mikel Arteta has a massive problem ahead of the North London derby tomorrow. As we all know, tomorrow's game is massive. We need every one of our players to be ready and take the challenge head on. We all saw what happened to Liverpool against Everton when complacency comes in. When you're playing against your biggest rivals, they are going to do everything in their power to stop you from being successful. But there are massive decisions Mikel Arteta needs to make to ensure that we are successful and come away with 3 points at White Hart Lane. Dilemma number one is the Martinelli or Trossard. Who deserves to start? And you can look at this from two angles. Leandro Trossard has been in absolutely fantastic form, and it would be so unfair to drop him. But when you look at Martinelli and coming up against Pedro Porro, who has the worst tackle success rate in the Premier League of any other defender, you just can't help but think Martinelli's pace and directness will be a problem to Tottenham with their high line as well. I feel Mikel Arteta has a big decision to make, especially with Trossard playing in midweek. Will he be fired up and ready? Or Martinelli, after being on the bench, will he be fired up and ready for Tottenham? Tell me what you guys think. Do you think it's a Martinelli or Trossard game? Are you going on form? Are you going to go on the profile of the player? Because if we're looking at it on profile and who would have the most success, it would be Martinelli. Although Trossard, it would just be so unfair to drop it. Now on to dilemma number two, which is the Thomas Partey question. Do you think he'll be ready to play 2 games after not playing on the back-to-back games for a very, very long time? There's no doubt he should start. I think it would be ridiculous not to start him. But you've got to ask yourself, is he ready? Have we managed his workload well enough up to now to start him in another high-intense game? For me, he's got to be ready. He has to play. I think we saw that 3 midfield of Rice, Ødegaard and Partey work so well. And I think Mikel Arteta himself did say he was happy to see those 3 work together really well. We absolutely dominated Chelsea in the midfield. And I think Tottenham had problems in the midfield area. Basuma is off form. Højbjerg hasn't really played a lot of minutes this season. They've got Sarr, who's a top player, but he'll struggle. If we put out these 3, I think Mikel Arteta has to play them. But he knows them more than us. He's seen them in training. He probably has it all mapped out on what games Thomas Partey will be able to play, or if he will be able to play back-to-back games. So this is not really more of a dilemma in terms of should he start it, is he good enough to start? It's more of, is he fit enough, and can we risk another aggravation? Because he's had a lot of injuries due to aggravation. Now on to the next dilemma, which is the left-back dilemma. And of course, we've got Tomiyasu, Kivior and Zinchenko. I don't think Timber will be ready for tomorrow's game. So Mikel Arteta will have a decision to make about those 3. And although it may seem easy to just say Tomiyasu has to start, but we already know he can get injured. And I think there was a horrible tackle on him in the game against Chelsea from Jackson. We'll have to see how bad it was, because with Tomiyasu, he seems to have these impact injuries and then you just see him not on the team sheet for the next game. So we've got to sort of think in a worst case scenario for Mikel Arteta that Tomiyasu isn't fit again to start tomorrow, which I think would be absolutely horrendous and a really bad situation for us, because Tomiyasu, I thought he played a really good game against Chelsea and he added some solidity on the pitch, which we've missed for a couple of weeks in that left-hand side of the pitch, especially at left-back. So if he is out, that then leaves Zinchenko and Kivior as the options to play there. And although Jakub Kivior is probably better defensively and Zinchenko has a lot of moments where you think, what are you doing? I would actually play Zinchenko. We saw last season when we went to Spurs, Zinchenko played left back and he was absolutely exceptional. And we know he struggled this season and he's been a bit poor and disappointing, but we can't forget his quality. And if we want to have the ball a lot of the game, we need to rely on players such as Zinchenko to have the composure in possession. We may have to sacrifice a bit of defensive solidity in order to have Zinchenko there. But then saying that, Kivior hasn't been much better defensively recently. We've seen him get spun a couple of times, especially against Wolves. I feel like he was beaten way too easy. So this is what I mean when I say Arteta has a dilemma. Does he go with Kivior, who's a bit better defensively, but then lacks that attacking ability? Or does he go with Zinchenko, who already has experience of winning a White Hart Lane with us and is so good on the ball, but then we have to sacrifice a bit of defensive solidity? What do you think, Gunners? Do you think Mikel Arteta should go with Zinchenko and risk being a bit defensively on the ropes, but go with Kivior if Tomiyasu's out and sacrifice a bit of attacking composure? Because it is likely that it will be Brennan Johnson on that right wing, and we know he's a really, really quick, tricky customer. So put down in the comments, if you are Arteta, is it Kivior or Zinchenko in the case that Tomiyasu's out? Because if Tomiyasu is fit, then he absolutely starts for me. So to end the video, I'm just going to talk about my score predictions and my preferred lineup for the game. So I think it's going to be 3-1 to Arsenal. I think Bukayo Saka will get back onto the score sheet. He's gone a couple of games without a goal. And I think Kai Havertz will continue his brilliant form. I think with the high-line Spurs play, it will be food for him. And I think Martin Odegaard will get himself on the score sheet as well. And in terms of my predicted lineup, or the lineup I want to see, David Raya in goal, of course. Then at left back, it's got to be Tomiyasu if he's fit. If not, Zinchenko, as I've stated in this video. Saliba and Gabriel at the back as per usual. Then at right back, Ben White, absolutely fantastic as always he is. I expect another top game from him. Then Thomas Partey at the base, of course, if Mikel Arteta feels he's ready to play 2 games on the bounce. Then on that left number 8 position, of course, Declan Rice. And the other side of him, Mr. Captain, fantastic, Martin Odegaard. Then Bukayo Saka on the right wing. Kai Havertz up top, and on the left, I'm going to go with form and start Leandro Trossard with Martinelli coming off the bench in the 75th plus minute when those Tottenham legs are starting to tire. Anyway, that's it for now, Gunners. Hopefully, I'll be doing a video after we've beaten Tottenham and given us another massive boost towards a Premier League title. So without further ado, peace and see you later.